First, there is the question of the strikes. While Senator Lee, a constitutional lawyer, insisted that the Trump administration was justified in conducting the strike since the president had the authority to protect U.S. personnel from an actual or imminent attack, Democratic lawmakers, including Senator Andy Kim, a former diplomat, have termed the action illegal, saying that it put American lives at risk and signaled to other superpowers that targeting a sitting head of state is acceptable to the U.S. government. Now, we're not experts on the nuances of the American Constitution, but we can guarantee that this is a question that Congress and possibly the Supreme Court will have to answer at some point in the future. Second, we don't know who is now in charge of Venezuela and how long their rule will last. At the moment, it seems much of Maduro's inner circle survived the strikes, and the vice president will take over, maintaining the current status quo. However, there are two distinct scenarios that we have to consider. One, that America negotiates with the remaining government officials to hand over power to Edmundo Gonzalez, who Washington recognized as Venezuela's rightful president after the contested 2024 elections. Or two, that the military takes advantage of the confusion and disarray created by the American strikes to seize power in a coup. It wouldn't be the first time that the military sought to gain power by taking advantage of a crisis. This was a fear expressed by Pedro Reyes Arroyo, a Venezuelan entrepreneur who, speaking exclusively to war fronts, said that the vacuum of power left in Maduro's absence could embolden individuals in the military to launch violent bids for the presidency, resulting in, quote him here, a bloodbath. If the second scenario were to occur, there is the possibility that Washington will be forced to launch another operation to install a government that has their support. The third thing we don't know, and which may be the most important, is whether Maduro made a deal with Washington and the attacks were theater to give him a face-saving exit from power. While this does seem unlikely, some in the Venezuelan opposition told Sky News that this could be the case, given that Maduro has repeatedly expressed his willingness to negotiate with Trump. However, we gotta be honest here, this doesn't seem super plausible considering that Senator Lee announced Maduro would be facing charges in the United States. It's also unlikely that Trump would be willing to let Maduro save face after the acrimonious year that the two have had. Additionally, Lee is a long-time opponent who has been pushing for the ouster, so the possibility that Washington chose to be gracious to Maduro is incredibly slim. However, slim ain't zero.